Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video from Type 1 Detour. My name is Chris, and along with my wife Amanda and our two daughters, we are traveling this country in our 40-foot Grand Design Solitude, all while living with Type 1 diabetes. If you haven't seen any of our videos before, we're documenting this journey in order to show everybody that even with a chronic disease like Type 1 diabetes, you can still live out your dreams and travel this country full time. And in this week's video, we're going to be heading from Manatee Hannah Campground in Titusville, Florida, after visiting the Kennedy Space Center, and going up north to Kathryn Abbey Hannah Campground in Jacksonville, Florida. So come along for the ride and let's see what this place has to offer. This place is crazy. There's way too many people here. There's nowhere to park. I am not on the Buc-ee's train, I'm afraid to say. We pulled into this full hookup pull-through, which plenty of space for us, but our hookups are very far away from the RV, as you can see, and it is super unlevel. So this is going to be a fun process here. Let's just hope we can get this taken care of. Alright, well, today we're going to try to fix this jack problem. So I just did a live chat with Lippert, and we have some troubleshooting tasks that they want me to do. Hopefully the jack is not just completely ruined and needs to be replaced, because I don't know when that's going to happen. So let's get to this. All right, so what we're doing is we are finding the controller, which is here in this front bay. And what we're gonna do is we're going to switch the left rear harness with the right rear harness and switch them, and then use the app to try to lower the right rear harness by telling the app to lower the left rear because we switched them. I know, a little confusing here, but I forgot to record the first part of actually switching them. So I already switched them, I used the app, and now they were both moving. So now we're gonna switch them back to their proper place and see if it still works. So let's see. Well, today's agenda was come to the beach inside Kathryn Abbey Hanna City Park. We got here about 10 a.m. It's a nice, beautiful day. It's approaching lunchtime now, around noon, so we'll probably pack it in and head out of here. But it's pretty cool when your campground is, you could ride a bike to it or walk. We have a ton of stuff. So we don't really walk to a beach, and so we drove. It's like a 2-minute drive from the campground. It's inside the city park, just not inside the campground. You do have to leave the gates of the campground. We have a lot of beach days on the to-do list on our upcoming trips. Because we're heading right up the East Coast and pretty much just going up the coastline, and we're going to be hitting a bunch of different beaches. So you'll be seeing us at the beach for quite some time over these next few videos. But today is just kind of a chill day. I mean, this is why we have an RV, so we can do things like this. I brought my laptop with me. I was, doing some loans and mortgages while sitting here at the beach, and now we're just gonna enjoy the time here. We leave here in 2 days, so I'm not even 100% sure what else we're going to be doing here. We will be heading over to the big playground and splash pad and letting the kids do that. One of the main reasons why we love city and county parks is because along with the nice campgrounds, they typically will have a pretty large playground either inside the campground or outside the campground for the kids. So this one, as you can see, has a pretty large playground area. And of course, what our kids love is a splash pad. Staying at these parks is usually pretty cheap, all things considered. This park is about $30 a night. It's full hookups, and we have the big playground and of course the splash pad right here. There's no pool at this campground, but you don't need it because, again, splash pad. And right over this way is the Atlantic Ocean. So you can drive, you can walk, bike, whichever you prefer, but we obviously like to drive. But we went over to the Atlantic Ocean yesterday, swam in the water, had a lot of fun on the beach. As you saw earlier in the video, we had some issues with our leveling jacks. The campground overall seems to be somewhat level. I've driven around a bunch and looked at different sites and different RVs and saw that they're pretty level. Ours just so happened to be extremely unlevel. It was a big spot. It said it fit a 45-foot RV. Yeah, ours is just over 40 feet, so I'd say that 45 feet would be a little tight, but it would fit. For now, we fixed the jack problem. I don't know completely until we actually hitch up, which is tomorrow. I was able to get that taken care of thanks to Lippert's customer service. So as I mentioned, there are a lot of things to do here at this park. You can go to the ocean, you can use the big playground, the splash pad. There are a ton of different pavilions that you can rent. You can also rent kayaks and different things to go out on the lake right here that is connected to the campground. There are a few different bodies of water. They don't all connect, but where the campground is, there's a pretty large lake, so there's a fishing pier. You can go hang out over there. We've been doing that at nighttime. There are a fair amount of alligators here on this lake, so as always, anywhere you go in Florida, use caution whenever walking anywhere around the water. It is a very woodsy and nature feel to this place. Now, it's kind of a couple miles off of 295 and outside of like downtown Jacksonville area, so it's always nice to have these woodsy parks right inside these big cities. So as you can see here, I mean, we're just covered and surrounded by nature. Now that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what kind of camping you like. If you like that kind of like TTO style camping where it's just kind of not a parking lot, but not too much nature and just wide open, especially if you don't like bugs, this place is not for you. I've seen some of the weirdest bugs I've ever seen in my life here. So let's talk about campground size, the interior roads of the campground. So just because a campground says that they can fit a certain size vehicle, it doesn't always mean that the roads can accommodate it. So we are 40 feet 6 inches. I booked a site that said would fit up to a 45-foot rig, and as I already mentioned, our rig fits fine. But the roads and turns inside this campground, not very easy for a 40-foot rig. There are a ton of trees in the campground, which is beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful. But a lot of those trees do hang down a little bit, and that's the problem when your rig is also not just 40 feet long, but 13 and even probably higher when we're actually hitched up on top of the truck. So we are more closer to 14 feet than 13 and a half. So some of those low-hanging branches, low-hanging trees can be a little scary. We got through. Luckily, the road that we were on was totally fine. Overall, we loved our stay here. It is a beautiful park. It definitely has that state park, national park kind of feel to it. You're just tucked away in the woods. There are coyotes. We didn't see any, but there are signs everywhere. We did have a few raccoons pop up on our cameras, but overall, we do give this place 2 thumbs up. We like this place. It is a nice change of pace to Thousand Trails that are in Florida, that are usually just pretty wide open and not very nature-esque. We like this place. It is a nice change of pace to Thousand Trails that are in Florida, that are usually just pretty wide open and not very nature-esque. I'm going to put a link down in the description below to a video from Downsizing Makes Sense. Their campground tours are spectacular. You can see every single site, so that way if you do have questions on whether or not you're going to fit into a site, you're worried about being able to back into it, their videos will show you each and every individual site. So I'm going to link to that video in the description and you can watch it here. That's how I actually chose the site that I'm in from watching that video. Cell service in this campground has been excellent. I didn't even run a speed test because I didn't even really have to, but you know, I streamed a few games on Xbox. I've been working with no problems. The oldest has been doing her online school, no problems. So we've been using our travel data, which is through T-Mobile. It's been working great. Amanda and I both have AT&T. Cell service has been excellent. I haven't even had to use the Verizon. So cell service is it's definitely good here.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights.
Slides are in, and we're heading out at Kathryn Abbey Hanna. Now we got to try to hope that this jack goes up. Hope that we did fix it. So we're gonna get everything onto the truck, and let's hope that this jack is fixed.
Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down.